All right, kitty, it is time to move, and I'm going to snap you out of the situation. And also, while I do it, I'm going to make the bed. All right, kitty, you can hang out on the couch. You have a good day, okay? All right, we're at 38 degrees Fahrenheit still, whatever it was last time. 206,599 miles on the odometer. It is January 19th, 2024.
Welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. I'm your host, Cole Spivey it is.
That was probably an F-22 Raptor or an F-15 Eagle. Those are one of the most popular ones in service for the Navy. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to find out. You can tell by the design, if you pause it when it was flying over, that was his follow jet. So the first one I couldn't capture. It came so quick and flew right over that I didn't have time to pull out the phone and get the shot. By the second, what I did, I repositioned myself to see if I could get an angle without revealing my location. And then his buddy came right behind. That's how I was able to get the second one. Flying pretty low. You can hear them for just a second. You don't know if it's high or low. And then, boom, it passed right over. And they're usually trailed by a second fighter jet in a lot of cases. So I have to remember, when one passes like that, don't put up everything, wait a few seconds, and there'll be another one. Sometimes 3 or 4. They're taken off at a naval base. We live right next to a naval base. Actually, to be honest, it's the NAS JRB, Joint Reserve Base, yeah. NAS JRB. So it's a Naval Air Station, Joint Reserve Base. I thought it was Carswell back in the day, but it's obviously a naval air station. So, I don't know. Maybe Carswell is somewhere else. I don't know the whole thing about Carswell. No one's made a comment. No one knows. Just weird kind of thing. There was a Carswell's Air Force Base, and I thought that was it. But this is Naval Air Station, NASJRB. So it's obviously something different. That's where we're in that location, which is cool because we're all on their same grid and things like that. So, you know, they're gonna have probably some of the best. Navy's a pretty powerful Air Force, although the Air Force specializes in controlling the skies, but the Navy kind of has to do it a little bit because they're dealing with ships that they send out to the ocean, which they carry a lot of the Air Force out to the ocean. Navy does a lot of transportation and work, and they're I think the biggest branch, leave a comment if I'm wrong, but I think, I could be wrong, could be Army. I don't think it's Marines, and I don't think it's Air Force. Either between the Army and the Navy. But the Navy, they're ground and water, and they're also air. A lot of them are in certain capacities. Most of the branches deal with water and air and other elements of fighting. The ground is Army, Air Force is the air, you know. The Navy is ideally the ocean or bodies of water, but they also deal in the air and underwater too, submerged stuff. So they deal with a lot of espionage, you know, because they're going to be in submarines and supposed to be quiet. You know, I've lived in this area before, and I guess I do remember a lot of air traffic. You know, a lot of fighter jets and things like that, and bombers. Here comes the area there. Bombers and cargo, things like that. I deal with a lot of cargo. Oh, wow, is that clear? Okay. All right, nothing special today. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy chopper on a big, black block. Whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, we'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. A big black bug but a big black bear, and the big black bear bled blood. Susie sells seashells by the seashore. So we're not going to any thrift stores or anything like that today, mostly just delivery. But it is still January 19th, 2024.
And welcome to the Please Subscribe Show.
All right, here we go. All right, this is where we turn in this kind of like a semicircle. Wee, wee, meow, meow, wee, lots of fun, wee. Hang on, kids, wee, wee. A little G-force, but nothing major. All right, Seussical the Musical, February. You can plan for that. I think it'd be kind of cool to see Seussical the Musical. Learn about Dr. Seuss, and it's a musical, so it's probably kids are gonna like that one. And then Once is more for adults. Ooh, Swine. We can get Swine that way. I'll see if I can get it right here, over here. They're selling Swine. It says Swine. Now you can't read it. That's weird. You can't read it on the digital. I'd have to go 4K on that one. Excuse me, getting over cold. Seussical the Musical's February, so we're gonna have Once coming up in March, which I might try to make a matinee, and we'll do like a, this would be cool. I have to talk Linda into it, but we would actually be doing a Broadway musical review, which we have not come close to doing at all. We've only done movie reviews. We tried to lift off, and I have to talk Linda into it. We did like a Redbox movie review thing. We'd go out to Redbox or something and rent a movie. But we do go to the library. So Linda rents movies from the library. And I set it up, there's that plant. We had that plant over next to the television. And then we had like 2 chairs. And then we just propped up the laptop and just completely BS'd it, as we kind of, I think we rehearsed it a little bit, maybe like once. And then we reviewed some surfing movie or some movie with water in it. Pangea, something about Pangea films. It was like one of our only big movie reviews, but we've done like kind of a few. I would like to review Maestro. Linda and I, we can review Maestro, but we can't. Redbox isn't doing it right now. Okay, so we've got, hang on, let me get a second, let me get this angle right here. Yellow Lot, Gate 35 and Gate 42. Sorry. This is all closed off for the stock show, so it's $17 for the parking if you're going to the stock show in Fort Worth. And we got a first responder over by Casa Manana. He's probably going to sneak in there and buy tickets. So he's got his lights on. No, I was joking. He's just dividing traffic right here because of stock show. That's mostly all for stock show, not for Casa. Right over here. That's all stock show stuff. Yeah, he picked up his tickets for Seussical the Musical and drove off. There's the fair right there. It's Casa doing Once and Seussical the Musical. And there's the fair. And that's what's going on right now. I don't know. He's dividing traffic or something. And then we've got no Christmas trees because we're going to have to wait till next of the season. All right. First delivery is 6:17, 6 minutes, 2.6 miles. There's Jamel's with Auto Hotel, or Hotel Auto. They play B-O-C-C-E there. I have to check the spelling and pronunciation of that, but I'm gonna guess Bochi or something like that. It's a Roman game that you play with these balls and you roll them in the sand. They hit other balls. It's like playing pool almost, but you do it with your hand with a ball, then you roll them. It's called Bochi, B-O-C-C-E. Rivercrest Bluffs.
Well, I live on Somersby Avenue. I'm better than you.
No, I'm just joking. Look how cute these houses are, though. Is that not cute? All right, next delivery is 6:34 p.m. arrival, 10 minutes, 4 miles.
Open sesame.
I like how my little gate opens like that. Sorry, I had to go by and pick up something. All right, coming up on that butterfly right next to Pearl's Kolaches. It's not actually a kolache, but it's close. And there is the butterfly. And there's Pearl's right there, Kolaches. Sorry you couldn't see it that well. Did the best I could there. But they do have, I'm gonna take a stab at it again. I'll have to look it up on Wikipedia. I'm gonna have to do some kind of mnemonic pronunciation thing. But a kolache is just a round pastry full of fruit filling. That's what makes it a kolache. They serve something that's wrapped up similar to a kolache with a weenie in the middle of it, and that's not a kolache. Texas did that for some reason. Klobasnik, K-L-O-B-A-S-N-E-K. It's Czechoslovakian, and it is a wrapped weenie. That's the klobasnik. Klobasnik. A kolaches is fruit wrapped up in a, you know, it's kind of like a circular thing that's wrapped up almost like a pie. They can roll it. You can have a rolled kolache. But what they did, they took a weenie and they made a klobasnik. K-L-O-B-A-S-N-E-K. That's how it's somewhat pronounced. And they put a weenie in the center and rolled it around. That's a klobasnik. So when you're going, oh, I'm gonna get kolache, that's not correct, that's slang. All right, we're at North Main, right down the road from one of my friend's theaters called Rose Marine. A guy named Rob Vasquez, pretty much is one of the head guys. And also Artist de la Rosa is the name of it. It may be going there, I don't know. No, it's a little bit, it's by this tattoo shop. I used to park here for rehearsals though. Right here. There's the Rose Marine Theater. The marquee's off on it though. All right, I think it's over by the tattoo shop. This way. When we do plays and stuff, we used to have like fiestas and stuff like that right over there. Back there behind the theater. Like, you know, cook stuff and hang out. Yep, it's this one right here. It's a tattoo shop. All right, so I just showed Artist de la Rosa. The original was right here along this one. It was called Le Teatro. And it was a small, like there's the immigration law office. You go over around this way, back that way. It was over there, right next to the restaurant. Might be able to, yeah, we might be able to go back right by it. It was a small little theater with a loft. And the soundboard and the lighting board was kept on above the loft. So we would come out here on the sidewalk, and Le Teatro, the theater, it was next to this restaurant right here. It's right there. It says for sale. I believe it was right there, or the neighboring one. Saderas Mexican restaurant was where we'd have some of our meetings for the theater and stuff like that. It was a really, really small theater. It took a few years, and then they were able to open this Rose Marine one, a larger one, for for bigger shows and things like that. And one year we did A View from a Bridge by Arthur Miller. It's pretty cool theater. Both of them were cool. That one was very intimate and small theater. It was a lot of fun to work with. But you had to go out on the sidewalk before you go in and stuff like that. It's kind of Birdman and stuff. The two shows that we did at La Tatra was Chicken Skin, which was by Robert Busquez, and Man 1, Man 2, 3 Minutes Old, which I had written. And they were mostly in English. Some of Chicken Skin may have been done in Spanish, but most of it was English. And then when they switched over to Rose Marine, they would do shows in Spanish and English. So, and A View from a Bridge was mostly English. They did have Spanish language in it, just like Arthur Miller wrote in Italian language. They just switched it over to Spanish style. So, you know, it depends. Some of the shows probably at Rose Marine are done in Spanish. They did do a version of Tennessee Williams' Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and that was, I think, done in mostly Spanish. And they have that on YouTube as well. So they mix Spanish and English language sometimes. So they can use, you know, English speaking actors as well as Spanish actors, but mostly it's Latino cultural or multicultural. So it's, you know, it just depends on the show and who's directing and things like that. And they do also Spanish language films there, and they have festivals. They do use that for the USA Festival, USA Film Festival, I think. They bring that in. They use that space because I went to it this last year. I videoed some of it. And they had movies that were played there that were English speaking as well as Spanish. So I think that was USA Film Festival that came through. I'd have to double check on the vlog, but it was some type of film festival. No, you know what? It might have been the Fort Worth Film Festival. Well, I'll have to check it. There's the Trinity. Alright, next delivery is 7:47, 8 minutes, 3.7 miles. Alright, we are at West Magnolia. Big time place for lots of restaurants and food and everything. Alright, we're coming up for the Times Square Fort Worth, right on 8th Avenue in Rosedale. You can see the Jumbotron. That's what I call it. All you need to do is put a clock up there and then we can watch the ball drop. Alright. That's a Dickies Arena right there. Maybe Will Rogers right there. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess so. Should be like 1, 2, and then 3. It should be like like coming up. Yeah, I think this looks familiar. All right, guys, we got some Angry Lobsters at Lucille's. A real nice restaurant, too. And they've got great seafood. Good old Lucille's. They also have a Shakespeare quote right on the wall behind the bar. Or actually right by the ovens, which is right beside the bar. I don't drink, but the ovens are cool. All right, next delivery is 8:11 p.m., 4 minutes, 1.9 miles. All right, so we're gonna look at mileage. Looks like that's probably for tonight. Yesterday, we're gonna reset that. So that was probably a couple of days worth. So I'd say about maybe 20, 24 miles maybe or so of that. About 24 miles of that maybe. Around that ballpark figure. All right, next delivery is 8:38, arrival, 10 minutes, 4.3 miles. That would be that one, would be the second one, according to the map.